Hello, my name is Blossoms and welcome to another Genshin Impact video. And today we're going to be going over my Bennett build and what I love about him so much. And for those of you who don't know, Bennett's actually an absolutely insane 4-star. Some math guys in the community have been doing tons of testing, and I came across this team building resource Google Doc that I'm going to leave the link to in the description below. And they mentioned there that Bennett is comparable to Diluc's DPS while he's in his elemental burst, and if you're keeping that up, he will be keeping up with a C0 Diluc as, you know, compared to a C0 Bennett, which is absolutely insane for a 4-star, considering Diluc is considered one of the absolute monsters in the DPS world. And we're going to be going over kind of as to why that is for Bennett, and maybe why you should be building him. But wait, are you subscribed? You could be. It's a quick click below, and I would deeply appreciate the support. Always going to be doing more build videos like this, as well as talent showcase and other build suggestions. And I will be expanding my content in the future as well. However, I am mostly doing these until I have a little bit more time. And one more thing for those of you who don't know, Bennett is currently in the Star Glitter Exchange store. If you have the Star Glitter, I would highly recommend building Bennett and buying him, or buying him and building him. I did that in the reverse order, huh? I'm definitely going to be buying my second copy here, as his first constellation is insane. So once I get the Star Glitter after I'm summoning for Child on the upcoming banner, then I am 110% buying this Bennett constellation. Alright, quick little reminder for how Bennett's talents work. I'm going to go ahead and show them off here, and as well as like a little preview of the build here as to what they do. He's got that first slash here, does pretty solid damage by itself, and it also has different charge variations that do really good damage, but have a longer cooldown, and that cooldown is, you know, shortened while in your elemental burst. And this elemental burst here has a couple aspects to it that are really important to the build, as slamming down here does really good damage, but also provides healing. And then when it's not healing you, which means you're past 70% HP, that means you are getting an attack bonus that is going to be significantly increasing your attack there. I could probably go ahead and show off just how much that is doing. So right now we're at 1467, and let's see if we can get his burst back here in just a second. So yeah, let's go ahead and get his burst back here. Get a couple more slashes in. Alright, and so double check here. We were at 1467, and then we put the burst down. What does that put his attack to? 1878. That's absolutely crazy. That's a huge bump to attack, and that goes to all of your characters. But, you know, we're mostly focusing on Bennett right now, and kind of the damage he can really be putting out. And once you get the Vaporize going, he does even more damage, which is absolutely insane. Let's go ahead and Vaporize this poor soul. Yeah, about 7k right there, 4k right there. You can see how you can start really outputting damage. Once you start hitting the crits, you're going to be doing like 14k. It's pretty insane. Like 10k on the slash, like 14k on the elemental burst. It really starts to get out of hand. There's a little preview for you and how the talents work. If you want to know how the talents work a little bit more in depth, I do have a talent showcase of Bennett, and I will be leaving the link for that video in the description. That guy didn't deserve 14k damage, but he got it. And real quick, these are my current talent levels. I have Fantastic Voyage at 5, his Passion Overload at 6, his normal attack at 5. Obviously not the most leveled up ones. I don't even have him ascended to Phase 5 to be able to further upgrade Passion Overload. I only also have him at level 65. I plan to get him to 80, but just keep that in mind. If you are maybe underwhelmed by some of the numbers, that could be why. But I think these numbers are pretty darn awesome even at this level. Alright, now that we're done with the boring stuff, here's some of the build stuff. I think the absolute best weapon for Bennett here is probably going to be Skyward Blade. Skyward Blade here is a 5-star, so obviously I know not all of you have it. I'm going to be giving you some suggestions after this, but my reasons as to why I'm using this is the fact that 5 stars have better base attack, first off, And base attack actually matters for Bennett, considering the fact that his elemental burst does scale off base attack, and the sword here actually adds to that base attack, meaning that his buff is going to be stronger if you have a 5-star sword comparable to a 4-star sword. Also, this 5-star sword has energy recharge, which is, helping me out to get that elemental burst as often as possible and making it to where I don't have to sacrifice an artifact on energy recharge, meaning I can put it on something more valuable to me personally, like attack percent or crit rate. This sword also provides a little bit of crit rate, which goes a long way, and I will tell you why in just a moment. It also gains Sky Piercing Might, where you use your elemental burst. It increases movement speed by 10, his attack speed by 10%, and then his normal and charge attack hits by 20%. A very strong 5-star sword, but I know not everybody has this. What's the 4-star alternative? Well, I'll tell you what. The 4-star alternative to me, and what I am actually currently using, is the black sword. And I'm currently using this because my substats are a little trash, so I need the crit rate. And however, this also increases your normal and charge attacks by 20% and additionally regenerates 60% of attack as HP, giving him a little bit more self-sustain. But for the purposes of this video, I will be using the Skyward Blade. And maybe you don't have either of these, you didn't go for this Battle Pass weapon. And the other best 4-star alternative is most certainly the Sacrificial Sword. The Sacrificial Sword has an energy recharge substat just like the Skyward Blade, and its effect is that it has a certain percent chance to instantly reset your cooldown after using your skill. That goes very far on Bennett, as you're just going to be able to generate more particles, getting his elemental burst as much as possible, including having that increased energy recharge rate. But say you don't have any of those 4 stars and you don't have any of those 5-star, then I think your next best bet is going to be the Fillet Blade. This is actually a really strong 3-star sword. It has an attack percent substat, and then on hit has a 50% chance to deal 400% attack damage to a single target, and that can happen every 11 seconds. Obviously, that is a refinement rank 5. The refinement rank 1 is 240% attack, but you should be able to get a 3-star to refinement rank 5 fairly easily. Alright, now to the real juicy stuff. We have the artifact bonuses, the artifact setup, whatever you want to call it. I'm using a 4-piece of the Crimson Witch of the Flames, as Bennett is being one of my primary DPS damage dealers, and here's why. So, the 2-piece here gives you that extra 15% pyro bonus damage. That is absolutely fantastic, just means you're going to be doing more damage on your skills. And then the second here is that it increases his reaction damage with Overload by 40%, and then Vaporize and Melt by 15%, and that's really strong considering Bennett can constantly proc reactions as long as the enemy is influenced by another element. So if you have something like Xingqiu making them wet, or if you have something like Fischl, making them electrified, then you're constantly going to be able to proc them, as Bennett's first ability's cooldown is so fast. And then on top of that, while you're using his first ability, you're constantly getting an additional 50% of your 2-piece bonus here. And since the cooldown is so short on the swipe there, you're able to get 2 stacks very easily, even when not in his elemental burst. And then when you are in his elemental burst, you can get 2 to 3 stacks, no problem. As for the stats that I have on my Crimson Witch of Flame stuff here, the flower and feather are your typical stuff. My substats are very okay on them. I really need a lot more crit rate on my substats, but for now these are okay, and I've been using them and still doing plenty of damage. And then I am going attack percent, pyro damage bonus, and attack percent. That is definitely, I think, the way you want to go, especially if you have energy recharge on your sword. However, say you can't get a pyro damage bonus cup, that's okay. You are still getting some from the set bonus. Then perhaps you could probably go for attack percent, and then on the crown here go crit rate. I think that'll do just as fine as well. And you can see my substats here are a little sad. The crit damage is nice, but the crit rate is missing, and that's really hurting my current damage output. So I'm really looking forward to that crit rate, which is why I've been using the black sword for the most part, and just wanting to deal that much more damage. And those of you who want to know where you can get the Crimson Witch of Flame set, you just go over to Leeway over here, and the Hidden Palace of Zoe formula will be able to go ahead and bestow you with a Crimson Witch of Flames if you are lucky. This is not a very easy domain to farm out, especially if you have like mostly pyro characters built. I know I was struggling at first and I had to build out my Kaya a little bit just to be able to get this domain done. Also, before we get into the damage, I did want to show you guys that constellation that I was talking about and why I want his C1 so bad. Out of all of the constellations, I think the best are the first and the last. However, the first one here is obviously the most accessible, and we'll be going over why. This constellation absolutely slaps, as it makes your elemental burst attack no longer have an HP restriction, so you no longer need to be at 70% or above 70% to get the attack bonus, which is fantastic. And then on top of that, you get an additional 20% base attack, meaning that buff is going to be much stronger and really help out your damage. Alright, so I've been telling you Bennett slaps, and now I'm going to show you why Bennett slaps. We're at the Cryo Flower here. I got Fischl and my boy Xing Shou, as well as Bennett, and we are just going to be trying to proc as much, reaction damage with Bennett as possible. I do note that my Fischl and Xing Shou aren't really built out. Their artifacts are pretty weak right now, so this is mostly going to be Bennett anyway, just proccing those reactions. And I am going to be cheating just a little bit, as I did mention I really need crit rate on my Bennett, that I am actually going to be eating a little crit rate food here just to help with that out and maybe simulate a better and more accurate endgame Bennett experience. So let's go ahead and stop talking and just show off. First of all, we'll go ahead and get rid of this. Oh. I'm gonna take it nice and slow so I can actually take advantage of all of his of all the elemental bursts we have going on here. And then you're also going to be able to see how awesome Bennett's healing is here. Get those going. We're going to get the Vaporize procs. You just saw we hit 8k there easily. And then the kind of pattern you want to go while in his elemental burst here is do 2 swipes and then finish off with that final attack, which just made him deal a lot more damage. And you see we have his elemental burst back already. So we can just kind of keep, going in here, doing whatever we want. And just overall slapping the shit out of this Cryo Flower. And you see we've got that elemental burst for a 3rd time. Always getting it. We're hitting 1000s even while he isn't down, which is absolutely nuts on this Cryo Flower. And then we could probably finish off with 1 charge attack right here. I was wrong. It was so close, though. All right. But that kind of shows off, Bennett being strong, especially with those reactions. We were hitting things like 8k, getting those crits. That's why the crit is so important, because even without the crits, you're hitting like 3-4k all like very often. But once you start hitting those crits and you have that good crit damage, you're going to be hitting 8k, 10k. I've hit 13k. And then with some Spiral Abyss buffs, I hit like 30k with his slam once. And that's kind of what you want to be looking for when it comes to Bennett, is constantly getting that extra pyro damage with the first slash there, and then capitalizing on that reactionary damage, as is just going to be making you deal so much more damage. That's why I think, as well as, getting that crit rate, you're also going to be wanting things like Elemental Mastery as your substats. And you just kind of want to balance all those aspects on your substats while, keeping your main stats, those beefy attack percent, and pyro damage bonus. I think that's going to be it for the video today, though. I hope you guys found this informative and you enjoyed my Bennett build, as well as some of the strength that it can provide to a team. And even if you don't want to build your Bennett like this, as I said, the support Bennett build is insane. As, if Bennett can be equivalent to Diluc's DPS in his Elemental Burst, then you can imagine Diluc inside Bennett's Elemental Burst is just even stronger, or any other character for that matter. I think Bennett's going to pair really well with Electro characters, or, the Hydro characters, due to that Vaporize reaction or the Overload reaction comps. Those are going to help you out a ton. And other than that, I love Bennett. He's going to be a part of my main team probably no matter what. I think maybe I'll be a Bennett main. We'll see. I think he's definitely going to be a part of my team no matter what. His healing is so strong, his buff is so strong, and he is so strong. So what is there to complain about? Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe for more content, as I'm always doing more Genshin Impact content like this. But other than that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace.